Hi there, welcome back. So before we set the size of our image, let's think about what units we're going to use it to do that. Okay, so actually there are a few different units of measurement in HTML, including pixels, EM, percentage, and rem. And on top of that, 4 additional units were introduced in HTML5. But for now, it's going to be enough to know about pixels only. Okay, so PX stands for pixels, of course. Pixel is a dot on the screen. So a pixel is just a small painted square, and basically any picture is made up of these squares. So if you zoom in an image enough times, you're going to see that it's basically just a bunch of colored squares, and each square is a pixel. So let's consider a typical computer screen. Let's say the typical display resolution is 1366 by 768. So the first number is the amount of pixels in a row, that is 1366. And the second number is the amount of pixels in a vertical line. In other words, in a column. So that's 768 in this case. All right, so we want to write the size in pixels, but how do we do that? Well, there are 2 attributes that can help change the size of an image. The first one is width and its value, and this attribute sets the width in pixels. That is how much space this image is going to take up horizontally in pixels. And the second attribute is height, which sets the height of the image. Now, notice that you don't have to write pixels here, just a number, but these numbers specifically mean the amount of pixels. All right, so let's take a look at how to do this. We said that our picture of lemonade with straws is a bit too large, so let's decrease the size a bit by specifying a smaller width for it, all right? So after the alt attribute, we're going to write the following. We're going to write width and then say, for example, 300. All right, so let's save this and we're going to see what we have. Okay, awesome. Our image is now smaller and it looks a lot better, I would say. But there's one thing. We only set the width of the image, right? But the height, it got reduced as well. So basically, if we only write the width of an image, the height gets adjusted automatically to stay in proportion. So in other words, if we reduce the width in half, the height is going to be reduced in half as well. Okay, so we could also set the height manually by writing a second attribute. Let's write 600, for example. The problem is, however, that sometimes we don't get the proportions right, and the image gets distorted as a result. So just like we did in our case, for example, we specified the wrong number for the height, and the image got stretched out vertically. So in order to avoid this, it's common practice to only set the value for the width and let the height adjust itself accordingly. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one.